The FAI, Ford A Izhorskiy armored car was a replacement for the D-8 armored car used by the Soviet Union from the early 1930s to early 1940s. Description: the FAI was built on the chassis of the Gaza car, a licensed copy of the U.S. Ford A. This chassis was the major weakness of the FAI. Most commercial car chassis were not powerful enough to move a useful amount of armor or firepower on the battlefield. The Germans were known to get round this particular problem by designing a car chassis that was intended from the outset for both civilian and military vehicles and which was used successfully in at least one German armored car family of this period. However, armored cars based on commercial car chassis were, for the most part, road-bound, thinly armored and lightly armed. The FAI was a typical example of this class of vehicle with a single 7.62mm DT machine gun in a revolving turret. The armor was sufficient to stop most shell fragments and small arms fire, but could not withstand any kind of cannon or heavy machine gun fire. It was also very vulnerable to mines. The FAI was built in relatively small numbers before being replaced by the very similar BA-20. The early BA-20 had the same vertically sighted turret as the FAI. FAIs were employed in the early days of fighting on the Eastern Front in World War II. The FAI and BA-20 series had a few advanced features. They were of all welded construction in an era when very few AFVs were welded. Also, they had cork-filled tires to enable them to retain mobility, even if the tires were penetrated. The FAI and BA-20 are often mistaken for each other. The main recognition feature of the FAI is the two dome-shaped armored covers over the driver and co-driver stations. The BA-20 had a flat armored roof in this area instead. Variants: FAI $at 46 at A89. The FAI was built on the chassis of the Gaza car, a licensed copy of the U.S. Ford A with 40 liters fuel tank. FAI M $45 at equals 878 at 20 equals K9, second variant, since 1934. The FAI M was built on the chassis of the Gaza M1 car with 60 liters fuel tank. FAI ZD $-64, $-65 57 equals 4 at 6 equals K9 1936 variant, only 9 were made. GAZ TK at KA equals K9, C at G52A3. The armored car was built on the chassis of the GAZ AAA and equipped with 71 radio. Only one prototype was made in 1934-1935. Users: Soviet Union Red Army, 1933-45. Soviet Border Troops 30, 1935-41. Mongolian People's Republic 15, since 1936. Second Spanish Republic 20. Nazi Germany, the Germans used at least one captured FAI M references. Sources: 85 FQ3 85 1 at equals 502 B18 8 at 0 A equals 9 at 88 425 equals 9 AB at 98 at equals B2008 NAB at 0 F802 2007. B at 0 B5380 2007. External links: FAI at battlefield.ru. U.S. World War II News Map, Russian armored vehicles, hosted by the UNT Library's digital collections.